Serving up some sour memories on 2016's Lemonade, Beyoncé presented herself as a woman scorned, using her personal struggles as source material, and emerging stronger on the other side. But the hit album raised more questions than answers. Here are the secrets the Knowles family may have tried to hide. Beyoncé seems to love her work, but those close to her have hinted that her career is largely due to her father's dreams for fame and fortune, not her own. Latavia Robertson, one of the founding members of Destiny's Child, told The Mirror that Matthew Knowles' strict training and rehearsal regimen for the girls, even when they were as young as 11, may have hurt their chances of having a regular childhood. Robertson said, "It was rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. He was like a drill sergeant. There was a 3.5-mile track and we would sing while we jogged around it. Then we would go to the house and rehearse. That's what our days consisted of, 7 days a week. Looking back, working that hard did cost us our childhood." Meanwhile, Beyoncé's cousin, Angela Beyoncé, told Out magazine that she believed that even despite all the grueling work she had to go through, Beyoncé never craved fame, saying, "I do believe that if she could sing under a secret identity and still affect people and touch their lives, that she'd rather not be famous. That if she had her choice, she'd rather take off her shoes and do cartwheels in the park. That's really who she'd like to be." Matthew Knowles has been accused of pushing Beyoncé and Kelly Rowland into showbiz with Destiny's Child, but he may have also inadvertently made the then underage girls targets of harassment in the process. During a December 2019 interview with Vlad TV, Matthew admitted that when Bey and Rowland were 16 years old, they once shared a tour bus with Jagged Edge, whose members were 21 and 22 years old, and she said of the incident, "I got a call from Kelly and Beyoncé saying that they were constantly being harassed by 2 of the members of Jagged Edge. I couldn't have that, and I literally had to put the guys off the bus in Baton Rouge, Louisiana." While Matthew didn't elaborate on how he dealt with the issue further, he later said in an Instagram video, "I feel the need to clarify that I did not say the girls were sexually harassed while on tour with Jagged Edge. What I said was they were harassed." Matthew added, "The term sexual harassment may imply to some to mean physical sexual advances. I certainly would not throw the members of Jagged Edge under the bus in a world that we live in today, using sexual in part of any dialogue. I made damn sure that I was careful not to do that." In 2011, Beyoncé fired her father, who had served as her manager since her youth and the Destiny's Child days.
How hard was it to come to that decision?
One of the hardest things I've ever done.
While many saw it as a power move for Bey to take control of her career, others believed it was a deliberate act to separate herself from her dad, after he cheated on her mother, Tina Knowles. It was also widely speculated that Beyoncé had axed Matthew after an audit alleged that he'd pilfered money from her, claims that he later denied. Meanwhile, there were rumors that relations were so strained that Matthew didn't even have a relationship with his grandchildren. Addressing the more personal allegations, Matthew admitted he was surprised by the content of Lemonade, including Daddy Lessons, a song that seems to reference him. However, he revealed that he didn't know how literal his daughter was being on the album, telling Watch Loud, "Well, I can only speculate like everyone else, and I think the genius in this body of work that Beyoncé has done is she has us all speculating and she has us all letting our minds expand on her words, and the expansion of them." All in all, Matthew added that he doesn't care if those in the press or any other people think he and Bey aren't close, saying, "It's nobody's business how much I see my daughter or my grandkids. That's something personal that I care not to share." Beyoncé and younger sister Solange aren't just estranged from Matthew Knowles, they also reportedly have no involvement with his other children. They didn't even attend his wedding to real estate agent and former model Jenna Charmaine Avery in 2013. Matthew told TMZ of the no-shows to his nuptials, which took place in the girls' hometown of Houston, Texas, saying that previous engagements prevented them from attending, which may seem a little telling since weddings generally aren't last minute. And if Beyoncé decided she wanted to attend, there's probably not anyone who could stop her from doing so. However, Avery is not the mother of either of Matthew's post-Tina Knowles children. Son Nixon was reportedly forced to move into a trailer park with his mom, actress Alexandra Wright, after a judge drastically reduced Matthew's child support payments in 2014, according to the Daily Mail. Nixon was allegedly conceived while Matthew was still married to Tina, and in 2014, The Mirror reported that Beyoncé had never met her little brother. Meanwhile, in October 2014, a woman named Takoya Branscombe told Inside Edition via the Daily Mail that Matthew was the father of her daughter, who was then 4 years old. TMZ reported that Matthew took a court-ordered paternity test, which determined that he was, in fact, the girl's father. Not unlike her ex-husband, Tina Knowles has also apparently moved on. However, according to documents obtained by Radar Online, her husband, Richard Lawson, took Scientology courses decades before the two tied the knot. In 1990, he reportedly took the HQS course, known as the Hubbard Qualifying Scientologist course, which is considered a broad introduction to the religion. In 1997, Richard is on record as having studied under the controversial church's Personal Values and Integrity course, which teaches how to maintain honesty and personal integrity and how to feel good about yourself and your life. Sources claim that Beyoncé had serious concerns about Tina and Richard's relationship before they got married because of his ties to Scientology. According to an alleged source who told The Fix, Beyoncé is arguing with her mom because Tina is dating Richard, who is a practicing Scientologist. Beyoncé is dead set against the religion and is worried that her mom is getting sucked in. So far, her fears were abated. Tina and Richard tied the knot in 2015, and this time, Bey and Solange showed up. There have been rumors for years that Beyoncé's camp doesn't exactly love her husband's one-time mentee, Rihanna. The Barbadian beauty was rumored to be the subject of Bey's 2006 hit, Ring the Alarm. Page Six reported that Jay-Z and Solange's infamous elevator fight at the Met Gala in 2014 partially stemmed from Hove's closeness to Riri. Prior to that incident, in 2009, Beyoncé's own cousin Marlon slammed the singer on Twitter, comparing her singing voice sounds to a hurt alley cat. However, there may be more to this story. In an unauthorized 2015 biography, Becoming Beyoncé, The Untold Story, publicist Jonathan Hay, who is working for Ponte Replay songwriter Vada Nobles, said he was desperate to get some press for Rihanna. Hay claims that he asked Jay-Z for a quote about Rihanna to secure an MTV News story, but Jay-Z didn't provide one because, at the time, according to Hay, Riri was not his first priority. So like a responsible publicist, Hay lied and began planning stories in the press about Jay-Z and Rihanna allegedly hooking up. He recalled that at first, no one from the label paid attention, but when Jay-Z realized Hay was behind it, Hove wasn't happy. Hay recalled that Jay-Z's reaction was not pleasant, confessing, "Jay called me and said, 'Dude, she's a minor.' It was true. Rihanna was only 17. That hadn't even occurred to me." He went on to admit that there wasn't any truth to the rumors and that it was simply a stunt he tried to get away with. Beyoncé stood idly by while her sister attacked her husband in an elevator at the 2014 Met Gala in New York. After video footage leaked, everyone wondered what the heck Hova did to inspire the ire of Bey's baby sister. Every major media outlet was hot on the case, but the trio put up a unified front and remained tight-lipped, issuing a simple statement to CNN. Jay and Solange each assumed their share of responsibility for what has occurred. They both acknowledge their role in this private matter that has played out in the public. They both have apologized to each other, and we have moved forward as a united family. In their statement, they also disputed any reports that Solange was drunk and behaving erratically during the evening. They concluded by admitting that while they may have had problems, they turned it around to ask what family doesn't.
I saw you. I saw how you played your games and you played all those girls, but you never did that to me. Until now.
Yes, all families have problems, but Solange seemed like she was going for the jugular. The alleged word is that she didn't like how cozy her brother-in-law was getting with his ex-business partner's ex-wife. That would be Damon Dash's ex, Rachel Roy, who many think is the Becky with the good hair referenced in a track called Sorry on Beyoncé's Lemonade. In her epic album Lemonade, Beyoncé hinted that cheating husbands may be something of a family curse that goes back generations. During the visually striking album, she takes much inspiration from her grandmother, quoting her multiple times throughout, with an emphasis on taking bad times and turning them into something positive.
For me, it's so much fun to tell my stories through photography.
In yet another spoken word segment on the album, Beyoncé shares her grandmother's lemonade recipe, then refers to her as an alchemist because she was able to find a solution and break the curse of infidelity before passing it down to her daughter. Beyoncé also hints at her own father's infidelities in Daddy Lessons. All of this is in addition to Jay-Z reportedly cheating on Bey, which he confirms and apologizes profusely for in his 444 album. Beyoncé and Jay-Z almost split after she reportedly busted him cheating on her. So says one of Bey's cousins who spilled the beans to the press. Nicki Knowles told Heat magazine in 2016 that their marriage troubles may not be over just yet, saying, "It's up to Jay to continue fighting for her and prove that he's determined to do whatever it takes to keep his wife." Shanika added, "This has been a long process, and I've heard they've had to deal with silent separations and splits over the past few years. This is now make or break for them, but Bey's determined to do everything she can to make it work."
I would not be the woman I am if I did not go home to that man.
In the summer of 2017, Jay-Z confirmed that he almost lost his wife. In the rapper's Footnotes of 444 video, he claims he had to beg Bey not to leave him after he partied way too hard and way too often. After the 2014 Met Gala elevator fight, reports allege that Jay-Z and Beyoncé's marriage was strictly business. A source told Page Six that while they started genuinely in love, it was branding that supposedly kept them together. The unnamed insider went on to allege that business is always part of the equation. They know they're the king and queen of hip-hop and really all of music. Neither wants to lose that. According to sources who further allege that Bey genuinely loved Jay, their union was a come-up for her as a solo artist, and that Jay-Z was very controlling. The insider alleges that they are business people first, entertainers second. Husband and wife come somewhere down the line. Indeed, the Carters went on tour together and dropped everything as love as a team. That August, Akon spoke out about Jay-Z and Beyoncé's union, telling TMZ, "Their relationship has been more of a business to the outside world than an actual relationship. Now to them, it may be a relationship, but it was presented to the world and it feels more corporate." However, Akon wasn't shading the Carters, explaining that it's almost impossible for stars of their caliber to have a private life without outside speculation, which is often incorrect and isn't anyone's business. He believed their alleged trials and tribulations would inspire even better music. Based on Beyoncé's Lemonade alone, Akon was absolutely right. In January 2018, Tiffany Haddish sent online stan sleuths crazy when she recalled a story to Vulture about Beyoncé getting bitten by an unnamed star at a private party, further elaborating on the incident in a GQ feature months later. The internet was quick to point at actress Sanaa Lathan as the culprit, and the Beehive swarmed, despite Lathan's denials and Queen Bee herself remaining mum on the entire situation. Haddish admitted to The Hollywood Reporter that Lathan's family was devastated, explaining, "I'm super good friends with her stepmom and her dad, and they were mad at me. They were like, why would you do this to the family? You know, black actresses, you guys have to stick together. It's so hard for you guys to get work as it is. Why would you try to ruin her career?" Haddish went on to insist, "But I didn't try to ruin her career. I never said her name. I was just trying to say how Beyoncé kept me from going to jail that night. I could have just shut my whole career down." The Knowles clan never spoke about the incident, but Tina Knowles-Lawson showed quiet support for Lathan in February 2019, when they posed for a photo together at the Essence Black Women in Hollywood Awards luncheon. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about your favorite famous families are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.